What's going down, YouTube? It's King05 here. We got the leading man and the 6-man warrior crest. About to go tackle this fight real quick. Let's go handle up. So this fight right here is actually kind of tricky. Like, I wouldn't call it difficult, more so just tricky. Although, though, keep in mind, I do have the featured unit decked out in his swag. Look at that damage. You love to see it. But yeah, I do have the featured unit, 6 full BT plus units, plus Echo. So yes, my experience on this fight will be a little bit skewed. So I guess I shouldn't say it was easy. But it is definitely troublesome. These fucking shields are just the absolute worst. So let me see if I can try to explain this mechanic down. By the way, in terms of like strats, I'm basically just get the BT auras up, get ready to dispel his force time with Balthier, Echo to as high as I can, and then kill the Golem, because he's the one that actually puts up the shields. So, yeah. Let's talk about these shields. At 90, 60, and 30, the robot, the Golem, is going to throw up these Brave and HP shields. I believe it's 3 sets of Brave shields, plus an enormous HP shield. If you get past the HP shield, you don't have to. Yeah, if you get past the HP shield, he's not going to put them back up. He's not going to put up he's not going to refresh the HP shield. But however, he'll, like I said, he has 3 sets of Brave shields for each threshold, I believe, and he absorbs different elements depending on what number Brave shield he's on. If you break the Brave shields, the huge HP shield goes away. And like I said, this is at 3 different thresholds. The CPU node, he'll throw up his once he gets in the force time, essentially you get no Brave gains. I think they do rainbow damage, and there's something else that they do. It's not. Oh yeah, and for 10 turns, they'll regain 80% of the damage you deal to them. So you have to basically get rid of that. You basically want to get rid of that force time. Balthier and Ma can hit it because it's basically use a ranged force time that dispels a buff from them. So both Balthier and Ma can hit this. At 50%, once the CPU node gets to 50%, he'll automatically go up to 100% force time. So you'll have to deal with it as well. However, you can skate past that by just being in BT phase or summon. And once you go over that threshold, he won't trigger it. So yeah, oh yeah, and also I think once you break them one time, they'll put up that debuff. You saw that like two mil HP sap that comes from their debuff. Like it's a self-inflicted debuff that they put on themselves, and that I think the little support CPU puts on everybody. So it's just a sap. Helpful. I'm not going to complain about the enemy sapping themselves. I'm here for it. So, like I said, bringing the Twinz and Rubicante isn't as brain dead as you think, because, like I said, depending on what shield you're on, he absorbs different elements. I don't remember them off the top of my head. I'll link them down in the description. Honestly, I was just pressing buttons. I was pressing fucking buttons and hoping whenever I would use the Twinz or Rubicante, they just wouldn't, he just wouldn't absorb the Brave hits. So, but in any case, let's talk about the homie Balthier, the lead man. Franz Boo. Let's talk about him. So, as you can see, the homie got a nice rework. He's putting out the damage now. So he starts the quest off, I think, at like 3 stacks of his overhead. And then, you know, after you use the free skill, you're automatically up to like 5. At least that's what it seems like on this fight. So, you know, the ramp up is pretty much done. He has a nice follow up on his S2 skill, which is really good now. And once he hits his BT effect, he gets a new follow up, and on that follow up, he inflicts a debuff that I think it stops Brave and HP damage. So it's really good. You know, he has the regular auras for his BT effect. Oh yeah, did you saw how like the robot was resistant? That's because of those debuffs. I mean, that's because of that Brave shield. So, like I said, trying to get these BT auras up because I'm basically just trying to go gung ho and kill the Golem because he's the worst one. He's the biggest offender. I also like the fact that the CPU node has, like, you know, it's a nice little design, especially because he has spikes on him. So yeah, not only that, I guess I might as well talk about the Twinz as well. So I personally had the Twinz on budget. I kind of budget maxed them out. Not BT plus, but I maxed out their armor a long time ago just because of the sheer amount of damage that they can do. You know, they shred through 3 enemy fights. So, you know, I felt like the Twinz are very usable, you know, in the Lufenia era, in the Infinity Plus era, just at, you know, 0 out of 3 BT plus. But given that BT plus things are BT plus materials are good now, I went ahead and maxed them out, especially because I got their FR for free. You know, I definitely wasn't looking to pull the Twinz FR, but, you know, you want to give it to me for free, I'll take it. So, you know, I had spare resources, went ahead and maxed out these little goobers. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, they're still hitting like a fucking truck. What can I say? These two oddball looking motherfuckers really bring the pain, man. Like, oh yeah, and Balthier and the Twinz FRs are both instant turn rate, so really pretty good as far as like yeah, at least good for this fight in terms of what I was trying to do, because, you know, I am, you know, as you can see, I am just swapping units, echo spamming, swapping units, echo spamming, just to get it all set up for Balthier to go into his BT phase and then just destroy this robot. Man, look at that. Quarter that soldier. Yeah. That Zac damage is nice. Go ahead and pop the FR with air. We are just echo spamming on echo spamming on echo spamming. But, you know, shouts out to Square once again for, you know, constructing a fight that wasn't as straightforward as, I mean, I know I'm literally saying the strategy is echo spamming him to death, you know, and then, you know, go into BT phase. But it was a lot more trickier to get this set up than just your typical, you know, echo spamming. It did take a little bit of, you know, thought, just kind of, you know, swapping out who I want to swap it out with, dealing with these shields. Like, I'm telling you, man, these shields are the absolute fucking worst. Like, they're really thick. That, you know, like I said, you got to take down 3 Brave shields just to get to the huge HP shield. However, having Quina, you know, who's obviously a key piece and whose BT aura I really want to preserve, but having Quina pop their BT effect, that definitely helped, you know, make sure that our Quina's BT effect definitely made it easier to shred through that enormous HP shield. Because it's a pretty big shield. So, like I said, I guess the 3 ways of handling this fight are, I mean, you can definitely off-turn them to death with Rubicante. You know, you got your cores. You know, Beatrix is synergy for this, so she's also good for this as well. You know, mind you, Rubicante and Beatrix are tied to elements, so you do have to watch out for the elemental absorbs that the different shields have. But yeah, you can definitely off turn this to death, you know, so you can basically break those shields. Quina also helps because they have a trap. Or you could, you could definitely just go the HP damage route and just, nuke it with like Squall or Renoa, or just somebody who's just dealing massive amounts of HP damage, so you can break through that shield and don't even have to worry about it. I believe you can straight blitz them. I believe you can blitz the robot, and if you're able to kill the robot from like 40% or something like that, you don't have to deal with the last threshold of shield. So your single target monsters like Tifa or Sid Reigns are, they're very good for this fight as well, because they can definitely kill this robot, pretty quickly. Outside of all the fact that, and outside of all of the shield gimmicks that these assholes have, like, it's not that, their HP isn't just they got a lot of HP, but I wouldn't say it's like it's I guess it's a little bit lower than usual. At least that's what it seemed like to me. It seemed like we really got to like lower thresholds pretty quickly. But then again, like I said, I do have 6 BT plus units with their auras up and just constantly spamming echoes for at least a good 6-7 turns by now, just spamming doing nothing but pressing the echo button. So now I got Balthier. I'm thinking, you know what? Now's the time. Because I was like, man, I only had I pretty much used up 2 of my echoes already. Look at the board with the Mossburg. That right there is a screenshot. I mean, the thumbnail. But yeah, man, that I was like, I only had 2 units with echo spams left, being Quina and Rubicante. So I was definitely on the minds of like, man, I gotta make sure at least if I don't kill a robot when I come out of force time, I at least go ahead and if I don't kill the robot, I can at least go ahead and pop a force time, because I don't want to. I didn't want to let the robot get up to his force time again, because that healing will set you back. Oh yeah. You know what? I actually forgot about probably the most underrated annoying mechanic of this fight. I almost forgot about this. How could I? So if the support node is something about those shields. Again, going back to the shields, right? So I think if you don't have the shields broken or something like that, it's something like if you don't have the shields broken, you will essentially get stunlocked. Like literally. It'll be a AoE every time I think the small orb acts. Every time the small orb acts, it'll be an AoE. I think it's a small orb or the CPU node. I think it's both of them. Anytime either one of those two acts, and I think if one of the shields isn't broken, then it's an AoE. It's an AoE dispel. I mean, not dispel. It's an AoE framed confuse. So essentially what'll happen is like every time, you waste a turn, obviously, and then their turn comes back up, AoE confuse, you waste a turn, you waste a set of turns, their turns come back up, AoE, I say confuse, AoE stun, AoE paralysis. So yeah, and that shit will ruin a run, if they manage to get that off, You can be saved if you have because they do inflict a bunch of generic buffs, so you can be saved by them clogging up your buffs, your debuff slots. So you might be saved by that, but or you could bring somebody like Yuna or Selfie to help with the debuff evasion. I don't know, maybe be a Giga Chad and bring Lena or fucking Ignis and stop debuffs all together. I want to see you go through that. You know who else is like surprisingly good here? And I seen two people pull him off. Fucking Jagron, right? Like, I've seen two Jagron runs on this. And honestly, that makes sense because Jagron has you guys already know Jagron has rainbow numbers with his follow-up. So in his BT phase, he's always been a shield destroyer, and he's definitely gonna break those shields. He definitely had, put that on with Quina. He definitely can get through it. So, hey, I'm not even mad at it. So all you Jagron lovers, Squirt, have at it. So, like I said, right here, as soon as I came out of phase, I'm like, I'm spending this whole summon phase just trying to charge the gauge up, because since I don't have any more Balthier force times to kind of get rid of this, since I don't have any more Balthier force times, I need to go ahead and I need to get into force time quickly, so that way his gauge doesn't go up. And I think the last two units I had for force time were Quina and Rubicante, thank God. Yes, sir. We got the gauge up to 100. So I felt like Quina's effect was probably better in this instant, because I'm basically going to be going. I'm basically going on full offense. So I'd rather them, I'd rather we attack than use Rubicante's FR and have him attack. Man, I'm not gonna lie, I was actually kind of scared right here, because I was like, man, is this a wash? Can I kill him in time? Do I really have enough to kill him? The he's at 22, but these guys, I was like, but the fucking robots are still like in their 40s. I was definitely questioning, did I have enough damage to pull it off? But you know what? Actually, this is funny because this is Balthier time. Boy, this S2 was amazing. This S2 was fucking amazing. Load the clip. Buckshots. That's some slugs. The boy Balthier got them slugs now. Quina BT effect is still up. Let's go ahead and cook them. Man, force time, you just never can underestimate the amount of damage force time can do. And also, not only is this Balthier time, but guess whose time it is? I'm telling you, man, these little goobers, you forget about them, man. But they were one of the I say original, original as of like when BTs and BT pluses were thing, but they were definitely nukes. They once they got their rework and got their justice with their BT, they became nukes, man. And you kind of forget about them, but shit, I'm kind of glad that the twins are still pumping out that amazing damage. So I don't know which skill Balthier was doing that allows him to. I don't know what skill Balthier has that just makes him do the most damage. So I was kind of like, well, S2 already has a follow-up built in on it. On top of the fact that we also got a follow-up from this BT. So you know what? Let's just spam this S2. Let's just use that. And I think it all worked out in the end. Look at this. We missing 2 targets, still pumping out good damage. And that's without Quina. Yeah, you see that, and that Quina trap, man. That Quina trap is good. I almost kind of forgot it was there. Just because they haven't really been moving too much. Boom. Balthier, man, the leading fucking man. Don't disrespect him. He's the human that bagged Fran, who everybody was thirsty for in Final Fantasy 12. Don't disrespect Sanji. Yeah, all in all, yeah, fun fight, nice mechanics, nice change of pace. But I have to give an obligatory fuck you, Squarefall, for giving us all these fucking shields and everything that we had to deal with, man. Load the clip on the Balthier. That nigga clean, man. Got the drip. Got the sawn off. That boy ready. Yeah, so if you've been watching this long, I greatly appreciate you. It's been your boy SatsKing05. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all peep the Balthier setup real quick. Peep the spears. I know you people like that. And what is it? The Opie's up next, so I guess we'll be getting our new round of characters. We'll see what's coming up. And I'm kind of hoping it's not somebody that I really want because I'm broke as shit right now. But we'll find out when we get there. But I'll see y'all next time. Peace.